Hi everyone, welcome to the Psychic Sleuth show. Dive into the unseen world with the Psychic Sleuth and Charlene as we bring new sights into unsolved cases with the help from the other side. For those of you who have listened before, get how Rochelle works. She speaks to the other side and also gets psychic impressions. She can get past, present, or future. Things can also be symbolic at times. Every spirit communicates differently, some being a bit more direct than others, and sometimes other cases may come mixed in, being the way that her gifts work. Her cases seem to interconnect. It's not her job to solve cases, but bring new insights and possible ideas or explanations of locations in missing persons. Remember, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. These cases are only her impressions and what spirit has given.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to our show. And today we're going to be doing the Kierra Coles. Sorry if I say her name wrong. We're going to be doing her validation today, just with stuff that we found out, and we're kind of recognizing some things that have been coming through in a different case that we were working. So I think Charlene's going to explain a little bit of that, and I'll let her talk now.
Okay, so Kierra Coles went missing on October the 2nd, 2018, which we have found out is the same day that Cheryl Coker went missing in Ohio. We also found a Kelsag Road that referenced another case that we did last year, which is right by the area that Kierra has shown us.
Right. And also we've noticed that with Cheryl Coker case, for some reason she's helping others, and some of the stuff that she says is now connecting to this spot with Kierra. So that's kind of interesting, and her reading is on YouTube, most of it, not all of it. I didn't release all because I was trying to not give too much away in that case, just because of the circumstances. So I'm going to let Charlene continue with the validation.
So we found a South Blossom Drive, which is very close by to this area also, which we got in Savannah. Orchard came in through Cheryl, which there is a South Orchard Lane. Right by this area, we also found a St. Benedict Catholic Cemetery, which is where Kierra, in the reading, she said rosary, and she also said reference Catholic Church to that. We found a West Angle Road, which came in Cheryl. Circle also came in Cheryl, which is also a road that's right by there. Sierra Ave was another case we did last year. Again, that goes back with the Kelsag Road and that case that we did. Kilpatrick was in Cheryl. We also found that right by a Keystone Ave, which is Kierra referenced her keys, which we thought would be a possibility as to why she was showing her keys and referenced her keys. We got Washington in Cheryl, and there's a Washington on the way from Kierra's house to this spot, which came in Cheryl. Cheryl also referenced heights, which there is heights when you map from Kierra's house to the spot that we found. Cheryl referenced Greek, and the I'm not sure what you call those things, but she referenced Greek and the Apollo Park. Apollo is the son of Zeus, god of sun and light, and it's right by Kenneth Ave. And Kenneth Ave was just a case we'd just done. And right, AutoZone Auto Parts is right by Crestwood Soccer Club. AutoZone we got in Delphi. Crestwood Soccer Club references soccer multiple times. Cheryl referenced that in her readings. We also got a 7 and a 5 in Kierra. 7 and 5. The 5, Kierra and her boyfriend had been together for 5 years. 7 was there's a highway that goes across Kelsag Road. Cheryl also had 57 in her reading. Rose came in through Cheryl and Savannah, and there's a Roseland on the way from Kierra's house to the spot. Blue. Kierra had lots of blue around her in the reading. Colours have multiple meanings. And there's a blue island. Island also came through Malia's last auto ride, and that's also on the way from Kierra's house to the spot. Red reference. We found a reference to the college that her boyfriend attended. Also has checkerboard in the logo. We got that in Delphi and another case, and that's 11 minutes away from this spot. Red also for their the college's sports jerseys. A lighthouse church is right by. South Kenneth Ave is right by this also. Kenneth is a case we've just done. And there's a Hank's vintage stash right by the lighthouse church, which Hank came in Delphi, and Hank is the dog that found Kenneth.
So that's just a funny, crazy coincidence there that we like to say. Yeah. Connections.
And the water tanks. The reference for that, we found 135th Street that the water tanks are on. Water tanks have been coming in for a while. We got water tanks in Faith, and Cheryl brought them up. There's also an exit 12A. Now, the number 12 came in a random auto right, and it also came in through Malia's case. Kierra, in her reading, she mentioned Ridge something. We found Ridgeway next to Great Hope and St. John. The letter T that Kierra referenced. There's a Tinley Creek, possibly close by. And another crazy coincidence is that Kierra mentioned full moon. And it's kind of crazy that we've had a full moon. Another crazy coincidence.
Yeah, that we're happening to do this validation on the night of the full moon, I should say. We don't know if that's what she meant, but things have multiple meanings, and sometimes when they bring up things in other cases, it can fit there, but it can also fit here. And I know it seems like we're trying to make things fit, but we swear we're not. It's just the way this works, and we've kind of been learning how this works because it's a little unique compared to how others work. So I'll let Charlene just continue on with the validations. Go.
So the area that we have found for Kierra is an area by sorry guys, my phone's been tripping out tonight. Rochelle also got in Kierra a windy road. This place has a windy road, new development, tractor, all came through in Cheryl. And this place that we have found with piles of dirt, it's kind of up high, water. Again, hardly any trees, just dirt. This area is off Kelsag Road that we have found that matches what Rochelle got in the readings. Also, Rochelle referenced no one would know. It's on the outskirts. Kind of is on the outskirts. No one would really know to look for her there either.
And he's familiar with it, isn't he? I mean, it's really close to his college.
It's like 11 minutes away from his college. People don't go there. Water tanks. If you go down Helsag Road across the SC Sierra Ave, and keep going past the steakhouse, you'll come to another patch of dirt, and then there's tanks. So there's tanks close by. Also, there's water tanks. We found that matches by.
And you can see that that the red church, what's it called, tower over there, if you look out. And so I guess if you look out, you would see lights and whatnot if it was dark, because it's a little higher up according to what the map looks like anyways. I mean, it does look a lot like what I saw. And I know that there's also a St. John's Church that's over here by the other church, and it I know that Apostle John had come up in Cheryl's as well. So I'm just wondering if, because they went missing on the same day, if that might be why she's trying to help out. I don't know. It's kind of, I've never had that happen before.
Yeah.
So I guess what we're trying to say is there's a big possibility that this is where she's at, just because so much connects to this area from stuff that we've gotten a few months ago up until now. And it is one of the only places I've seen that I can find that matches exactly what I was seeing in my mind, because there is a lot of dirt around there and whatnot. So there, the windy road, everything leading up to it, the bushes and trees kind of around it. It overlooks the water. It overlooks the red church tower thing that's right across. Um, so a lot fits there. And another funny thing is, we were talking about Cheryl one time, and I randomly got a craving for Panda Express, and I know most people do that, but me, it's not. That doesn't really happen very often, and unless it's case connected or spirit connected. And it's funny. There's one right here by this Saint Benedict Catholic Cemetery, and whenever they mention rosary or symbolic meaning, to me, rosary is always Catholic something. Either someone's Catholic or there's a Catholic something nearby. That's just my symbol for it, because as we know, spirit can be very symbolic, and a lot of times also things can have multiple meanings. So I just wanted to remind you guys of that. And then I think Charlene's going to go ahead and explain more of what she found out.
So regarding Kierra and her boyfriend, Kierra and her boyfriend's girlfriend, they were both pregnant at the same time. He ended up marrying the other girlfriend, and he moved out of town shortly after Kierra came up missing. And he lawyered up pretty fast. And back then, her family didn't think that he was involved. Now that's not the case. They've actually changed their minds a little bit and think otherwise, as he's not being cooperative at all.
He also kind of matches what I was seeing, as far as sometimes he has a little mustache and sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah.
I think the whole school thing was kind of her way of
pointing him out,
right.
Also, back in Kierra's reading, Rochelle got a reference to a dark colored car, a newer type of car. He actually does have a dark colored car, and it is a newer type of car. So that validated that, again, her pointing to him.
I didn't even know that until now.
I actually found out just now, actually. And
so also there was another kind of weird thing when I was talking to someone else today, and in the reading, she didn't really show me her leaving the apartment. She didn't show me her walking out or any of that, which is kind of weird. Working with Charlene, she can tell you, like, I'll usually get kind of details like that, but we just think it might not have been her. We think that there's a possibility that the girlfriend is somehow connected, and that would, because I kept saying, well, I feel like this happened at night. There was an argument at night, so I don't think she was alive that day, honestly, and I don't think it was her that called into work either.
Yeah, because she was called in sick to work, and then the surveillance camera shows that she's actually dressed for work, and you can see her on the camera. She looks at something and then goes down the street past her car. And the fact that her purse, I'm assuming her phone and her keys were all close by where her car was parked. So that's kind of odd that she's dressed for work. She's going to work, but walking past her car. And the fact that she actually does on camera look at somebody else kind of like raised alarms again. But then what really had us going was the fact that someone called her in sick to work, but yet she's on camera and she's dressed and she's ready to go to work, which seems kind of odd that you would be dressed for work if you have just called in sick. So
I'm kind of curious, like, as to how much they look alike or how similar their build is or whatever. I guess on camera it's not going to matter that much, but I'm just
might not be
about
her
that. Right.
Yeah.
So I think that that's all the validation that we came up with so far. If anybody else has any kind of validation, or you can think of an area that's like how I described in the reading, we would appreciate it. She seemed kind of direct as far as this is what happened and this is kind of where I am. We feel like this area matches, and the 5 to 10 minutes, now that you're saying 11 minutes from the school, could definitely be, 5 to 10 minutes, 11 minutes is very close. It could be that she was referencing the minutes from the school. So that's kind of interesting as well. And I'm thinking that it's just the little things that she's saying is calling him out without directly saying his name. Because it's almost like she feels like everybody already knows, And normally when it is a significant other, that's the way that it's brought forward, is the first thing that's said. So there's not a doubt in my mind, but this area I feel is important. Unless there's another one that matches what we're talking about, but this is the only one we could find. There is a tower there also, with all the dirt and everything. So yeah, I think that's it. This is another validation episode, is a little different. It's kind of putting it all together and kind of trying to explain it to you guys. When we talk about it, it's a little different, but trying to explain it to you guys is a little bit harder. So bear with this. We will get better. And it's hard to keep track of everything. So keep that in mind as well. And I think you can also check out the old podcast for now. If you want to look at the old cases, that's on Spotify. It's the same thing, the Psychic Sleuth podcast. That's the old one. But like we said, this is fresh and new. We're just starting out. I've never produced anything before. Charlene's never co-hosted or hosted. So we're kind of going to wade through this together, and hopefully you guys will continue to like it. And then you can also catch up on the YouTube videos under the same title. So, Charlene, is there anything else that you want to add before we go?
Yes. I just want to say a huge big thank you to Kristen Baker, who helped us find Kierra's location.
Right.
Because that helped us.
Yeah, because I was seeing it, but I couldn't find it. So, when she showed me the pictures, it did look a lot like, I think it's one of the most closest thing to a vision I've ever seen as far as, but the thing is, it is a federal land, and I don't know. Apparently he was in criminal justice, and apparently he knew the area well. So this wouldn't be a spot anybody would look at. That's for sure. And I do remember it being nighttime. So that's why I think that she never made it to the next morning, honestly. So if you don't have anything else to add, Charlene, I guess we'll end it for now until next time.
Yep. Awesome.
Please follow and share. And if you have any validations for us, please email us at thepsychicsleuth@gmail.com. Until next time, you guys have a good one.